And I know no one really wants to hear that. People love to hear, well, what's the one thing that got you XYZ? It's like you want just some
Exactly.
sexy answer. I have no sexy answers. I have unsexy fundamentals that if you
That's
do
right.
them every day, it can change your life. For me, growing my self-worth looked like asking myself a question and running everything through the lens of, is this person, place, thing, idea going to increase my self-respect or
Okay.
decrease it?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Yollab Central. Today, I have with me Amy. So, Amy, would you like to tell our audience why they should be excited about this conversation today?
Oh, I'm so excited to be here myself personally. So thank you so much for having me and why they should be excited. What a opening question. Do you ask that to all your guests?
Yes, every time.
Oh,
That way.
I love it. I love it. Why they should be excited? Because I am a deep believer of self-belief, self-worth, and self-awareness, and how that leads to our individual version of success. And if we want to talk about those things today, I get really excited about it. And I think other people would get really excited about that too, because it's a look into yourself and how maybe you are hindering or going against yourself when it comes to whatever your version of success actually is.
Okay. Now, I'm sorry, I just forgot what the third one was: self-belief, self-worth, and the third one was.
Just self-awareness in general.
Okay. Okay. So, where do you want to start? Obviously, we'll start with self-belief first. So, what's your idea, and how do you think that people should be looking at self-belief?
Sure, I'll paint a little bit of a picture. So, my name is Amy Lenius, like you said, and I partner with a company called Next Level University. I
Mhm.
am an entrepreneur in their space. And they, when I first started working with them, were all about holistic self-improvement and personal development for the sake of success. And holistic meaning everything affects everything else. And
Right.
I was so drawn to that because I fell in love with that word myself when I was healing from chronic illness. Because
Okay.
I learned that was my biggest lesson that I learned in my healing journey was that everything affects everything else,
Yeah.
internally, externally, vice versa, all the things. And so when I was partnering and started to partner with
Mhm.
Next Level Nation, I started to see how it complemented my work so deeply. So I was working in women's health and teaching women about their cycles, their hormones, and things. But I would meet certain ceilings of theirs that I just couldn't quite understand.
Mhm.
And when I partnered with NLU, I started to gain a bigger picture of social intelligence, emotional intelligence, and the two things that really stuck out the most were the differences in the importance of self-belief and self-worth, and
Mhm.
how we will constantly meet the ceilings of those two things if we're not actively growing them or even aware of what they are
Yeah.
and where they're at within us.
Mhm.
And so self-belief is self-efficacy. It's what we believe we're capable of achieving in the external world.
Okay.
Whereas self-worth is an internal game. And so they're both slightly different, but they both show up in
Yeah.
everyone's life in health journeys, wealth journeys, relationships, everything.
Yeah. So I think you must have heard that story of a cricket being put in a glass bowl, and when there's no lid, when it's new, it gets to jump out, right? But if you leave a lid and leave them for a couple of generations, they just limit their jumping to the ceiling, right? And then even if you remove the lid, they don't jump out. So, I mean, kind of puts in place, right? People limit themselves just by the environment that they're in, or they're just limited by their own identification of what they are able to achieve. I mean, I meet a lot of people who have so much capability, but then they're just there. They've been there in an environment where they're actually happy to be where they are, but they have so much more capability to get even better, right? So yeah, thanks for putting that out. And yeah, I don't know. I think I lost track somewhere in between. But then again, when we come to awareness, right? Once you have self-belief, self-worth, and now you are actually aware of how people can be with themselves. How do you help them create that opportunity to actually build and grow their self-belief and rather than not
Mhm.
be stuck in the limiting uh, point of view?
Definitely. So if you maybe we'll share what it kind of looks like when we have low self-belief, and then I will absolutely share with you how to build it because it is simplistic, but not always easy.
Yeah.
And we love a good simplistic formula that people can walk away with and start
Yeah.
implementing right away. So if you have low self-belief, you feel incapable, incompetent. Typically, you don't feel like you're good enough. You have a sense of, I kind of actually don't want people finding out
Mhm.
how much I don't believe in myself. And you might not have identified it yet as low self-belief, and that's okay. But do you kind of hide how capable you feel?
Mhm.
And there's four archetypes when it comes to all people: villain, hero, victim, and guide. And so when we have really low self belief, it's really easy to fall into a victim state. And victim being, I have low self belief. So I feel like it's me. I can't get out of the problem and I'm the reason.
Mhm.
And then sometimes they overswing into villain, which is okay. We've all done it, where we get this bit of inflated, inauthentic self worth, but
Mhm.
we still have low self-belief, so we still don't feel we can do the thing, but it's someone else's fault. It's the world's fault.
Right.
It's someone else's fault in some sort of way. And again, nothing against you if you are in those stages. Most people are, and most people go through those. And
Yeah.
you are not born with a certain level of self-belief and just stuck there. You
Yeah.
can absolutely build self-belief. And I encourage you to do it every day. Because what we do in small amounts, sustainable amounts every day, compounds over time, and that's where we see long lasting success.
That's right.
And so the formula for self belief is state, prove, and self assign. You need to show your identity and show yourself that you are capable of doing things.
Mhm.
You need to say that you're going to do it. You
Mhm.
need to actually get it done. So make sure that it's a sustainable thing that you can get done every day. And
Mhm.
then you have to have a moment where you build it into the identity, that self assigning, that self celebration moment. Now, I
Mhm.
have some people who are very outward celebrators. They love to do a little dance, give themselves a pat on the back, go give someone another in their family a high five. But I also have people who are a little more subtle, like myself, where we just get the thing done and we just have a moment of nice. I
Yeah.
got the thing done. Check it off a list. If you have a list, that's a great way to have that self-assigning moment because you can scratch it off or check it off.
Yeah.
And do this with things that are already within your day. That is probably one of the biggest secrets for all the people that I coach. I actually get them to do this for things that they're already doing that they maybe don't see as valuable,
Okay.
but
Mhm.
they really are. How you're serving your family. Maybe it's showing up for yourself in a certain way. Skincare, hygiene, whatever that looks like. Maybe it's the laundry. And I love using the laundry as an example because the
Yeah.
laundry is a cycle. It's never ending, it's a cycle. It's never done. The second you put clean clothes on, now there's a new set to wash.
Yeah.
And so I love using something like that because the second I say to someone, say I'm coaching a woman, I coach a lot of women, I'll say, okay, I want you to do this for laundry. They instantly go like, well, that's not a good enough thing to be doing. And it's like, exactly. I want you to combat your brain on this
Mhm.
and allow it to be something that you actually celebrate that you get done in the midst of all of the other crazy things that you are doing, all the hats that you're wearing, all the things that you're doing. Let's do it for laundry. So say you're going to do it,
Mhm.
get it done,
Right.
and then before you go off the rails, a lot of people with low self-worth, especially, and we can tie this in later, or
Mhm.
just that yeah, it's going to be low self-worth where they don't feel internally worthy, especially of being celebrated. They'll say, "Oh, I don't deserve to celebrate that I did the laundry because I
Yeah.
should have done more. I should have done it better. I should have folded it. I should have separated the clothes." You're going to give yourself some excuse to not
Yeah.
self-assign. And so there's
Okay.
a battle there. But then
Right.
we have the over celebrators, the
Mhm.
people who treat it as a task instead of a cycle. So they'll say they'll do the laundry, they'll get the laundry done, and then they'll self celebrate and self identify so hard. It's like, oh, I got the laundry done. I am the best. I never
Right.
have to do laundry again. So
Okay.
again, no right or wrong, but if you struggle to self-assign and build into the identity all the amazing things that you're doing,
Mhm.
which bucket are you in? Do you over-celebrate and treat it like a task and don't repeat the cycle?
Okay.
Or are you going to should all over yourself that you didn't do a good enough job and not assign there? And that's a really great place to get started.
Okay. Now, I know, contrary to that idea, there are a lot of obviously when it comes to this self-assigning, right? These small wins make a lot of difference for a lot of people. But then there's a contrarian idea which says that, I mean, for how long can you just go ahead and celebrate these small wins, right? So how do you deal with that, or just wait
Mm.
it out?
hmm As you notice your self-belief building, so you believe yourself are more, you believe you become a more capable person, a more worthy person. Actually, self-belief is the foundation of self-worth. So they really
Yeah.
tie together. And so
Yeah.
it's really, really important to address self-belief first.
Hmm.
And so the more you see how accomplished you can be, you just keep upping the ante. You
Okay.
keep building it. Right? If I have someone who's fighting so hard against giving any kind of celebration for themselves or any kind of identity building, we
Hmm.
start with something really simple like that. But a
Okay.
lot of people are coming to me for business and for more holistic success in their life. They want to be happy, healthy, wealthy, and they want to, especially women, they want to be able to still do it while they're being a mother and
Yeah.
while they're honoring their household. And they want to find a bit of flow and harmony in those things, but they're
Yeah.
dedicated to bringing in some money in as well. And so we'll do these self-belief things with their business. We'll do it where they have the lowest level of belief. And
Okay.
so that's something to assess in someone as well. Do they have the lowest level of belief in their ability to make money,
Hmm.
in their ability to take care of themselves, however that looks? And we look at their goals first. What do they want to achieve? What is their level of belief in the capability of that goal? And we
Right.
reverse engineer from there.
Okay. All right. Now, when it comes to self-win, self-belief, self-worth, and self-awareness, I know it's just that the surrounding around us, I mean, the society, social media have a lot of play, right? And especially with the current generation who's so much used to putting out everything on the internet or just receiving a lot from the internet, right? Self-belief and self-worth comes with a lot of riders of seeing others, right? And comparison. So, how does this have to be tackled for someone, especially who has so low self-worth? And they should not be comparing, but they just fall into the vicious cycle of getting into comparisons with somebody out on the internet.
Social media has so many pros and so many cons.
Yeah.
And when you're aware, it can build self-belief and self-worth. If you are not, it can absolutely be a detriment to your
Mhm.
self-belief and your self-worth. Because typically we'll go on there and see someone who is typically acting better instead of being
Yeah.
better. That's the thing. And social media is all about perception. And right there, if you can identify as someone who isn't just trying to act better, but actually grow every day to be better,
Hmm.
that's going to be a self-belief and self-worth boost.
Yeah. Hmm.
But if you're not having that capability yet to really see through those kind of things, you are going to fall into comparison, which is a deep hit to
Yeah.
self-worth. And it's actually one of the pillars of self-worth. And so if you can picture a five-layer pyramid, right,
Okay.
and the pyramid can only be built as high and as strong as the base. The
That's
base of self-worth, the pyramid of self-worth is basically self-belief. It's keeping the promises you make to yourself.
yeah.
The next one is boundaries. The next one is social courage. Second to the top is investing in yourself. And the peak is comparison. Can you compare to someone for inspiration or are you comparing to a detriment? And
Right.
social media gives us all the access all the time to just compare, 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 compare. And it doesn't matter what area you're looking at in social media. Even if
Yeah.
we take business and things out of it, I'm a homeschooling mom. Do you know how detrimental it can be to go on social media and see other people's homeschooling lives? They
Uh,
have this beautiful setup in their kitchen and this beautiful table and these walls of learning, and their kids are all put together. And it's just like, there is no way that is your everyday because I also homeschool my kids, and sometimes it is a S show. And sometimes it is really beautiful and it does look like
yeah.
that, but just
Yeah.
even that, those anything you're going on there for fitness, oh my
Hmm.
goodness, fitness going in on
Yeah.
there, and you go in and you see someone who is a decade maybe into their
Right.
journey,
Hmm.
decades into their journey, taking God knows what. And they're on there being like, actually, if you just do this exercise with your biceps for 10 days in a row, you're going to look like me. Mm-mm.
No, I
Nope. And
haven't.
then you do that exercise for 10 days and you're like, you know what? Gosh, there must be something wrong with me.
Yeah.
I am doing something wrong here. No, you're being bamboozled by the person on the internet.
Yeah.
So, building self-worth is actually going to help you be able to filter that out better because you have built so much internal resilience.
Hmm.
And all of those layers are really, really valuable. And we never want to bombard people with five things at once. And so the
Yeah.
layers of self-worth, keeping the promises you make to yourself, boundaries,
Right.
very important.
Hmm.
Courage, especially social courage, to be yourself, know yourself, act like yourself in front of others,
Hmm.
investing in yourself. This does not have to be elaborate. Anyone listening right now, this is a moment of investing in you. And you
Hmm.
can do that every day. And
That's
that's a self-worth hit. And then comparison. Of those five, which one is the most detrimental in your life right now? Do you struggle to hold boundaries? Do you not invest in yourself? Which one is it? Start with that one first.
okay.
Start with that one first. Build that and then step into the next ones.
Okay. Now, since we talked about this, right? Now, there's also something, right? When it comes to people, they like to celebrate self wins, right? And one way is sharing self wins, I know with friends or just again, social media is one way because people like to show off. Because when you're in the vicious cycle of comparing by seeing others, you also want to show others what you're doing. Um is it good? I mean, obviously, it builds a lot of self worth because you get that hit, the dopamine hit, once people get likes and so on and so
Mm,
forth. But then it can also be detrimental because sometimes you won't get likes.
yes. Yes. Letting go of outcome is really, really important
Yeah.
for self-worth. But there's two buckets there. There are people who want to show off, for lack of a better term. Again, there's no right or wrong here, just which one are
Yeah.
you and is it serving you or is it not?
Yeah.
So showing off, for the lack of a better term there. And that is good for them. That builds significance in them for them.
Yeah.
Is it inflated? Is it accurate? Is it
Right.
humble? And again, humility, people always think being humble is like, oh no, no, I'm not this. No, no, no. Having humility is self-accuracy. And it's very rare that people who struggle with low self-belief, low self-worth, or low self-belief, inflated self-worth, there's so many nuances there in syntaxes, but it's really, really important to make sure you know what those are and if you're doing it for the wrong reasons or the right reasons. So someone like me who's in those five layers, my hardest one was social courage. It's actually really challenging for me to show excellence publicly. I can go crush behind the scenes all day and do great things, be a great human, get
Yeah.
stuff done. It's
Right.
really challenging for me to show up in excellence in front of other people because I've been socially conditioned that that's not good. I lose love that way. And so that's a core wound thing. And again, there's so many things that we can unpack here, but typically there's three core wounds. One of them really likes to show up because they actually have low self-belief. And so showing up and acting like they don't creates a form of significance in them that they don't have to get better as long as they look better. They don't have to get good as long as they look good
Yeah.
publicly and no one finds out.
Hmm.
So many nuances there. So where my core wound, we like to hide a little bit and just people please and not lose love. So, and I have been shown time and time again that excellence loses love for me. So it's really hard for me to go publicly and do those things. So
Okay.
for someone like me, it actually is really, really important to learn social courage, to be accurate in front of others and have the cards fall where they may with other people and trust that the
Yeah.
relationships that are going to celebrate me and be accurate with me are going to come.
Okay. Now, in the during the start of the conversation, you specifically talked about four archetypes, right? The victim, the villain, the hero, and the guide. Now, you mentioned
Mhm.
two, the negative ones. We could not touch upon the hero and the guide, right? Now, obviously, people are there in the state of victimhood and being the villain in their own lives, but then they can be heroes in their own lives and they can also be guides for others, right? So, how does that flip over take place? Is there a switch that happens, or how have you seen people unfold?
Yeah, so we all have all four, but we have a home, typically. We have a home. And so if you can picture like a four section cross section like
Mhm.
this, sorry
Yeah.
if you're on audio. It's if the so the vertical axis is self-belief and the horizontal axis is self-worth. And so if
Okay.
you have low self-belief and low self-worth, you're in the victim category.
Okay.
If you have low self-belief but inflated self-worth,
Hmm.
you're in the villain category.
Okay.
Now, as it grows, as your self-belief grows, but maybe your self-worth stays a little lower, like mine was, you're in the hero category. You are a martyr. It's better sometimes than the villain and the victim,
Yeah, of
but
course.
the hero is constantly at the expense of self. It's I'm going to drag you up this mountain at the expense of myself. Rather, where the guide, as we build accurate self-worth, accurate self-belief, the guide goes and leads the way and doesn't self-sacrifice, but leaves the
Right.
door open for anyone to come along with them and
Hmm.
is going to guide them along that journey, no problem, but
Yeah.
stays centered in themselves. And
Hmm.
so it is a journey that we can all get to. And it's one of those never ending journeys. The mountain just keeps growing. You can always gain more self belief, more self worth, deeper into your guide energy. Absolutely.
Hmm.
But to be able to recognize which one you are in is really, really valuable because we all get into those. I get into my little victim moments sometimes and things, but for me to recognize it
Yeah.
and be like, oh, what is this? This isn't going to serve me, and learn how to get out of it and what that takes and what I need to do. That's such a win and such a skill that you can build in your life.
Hmm. Right. Now, again, as a guide, I mean, probably you are a guide for a lot of people out there, right? How's your journey panning out? Sorry, I did not ask.
Oh, yeah, things are good. It's very challenging for me not to go back into that hero complex. That's
Mhm.
my biggest one because I have very high self-belief. I always have. I mean, even just the things that I was able to do to get through my chronic illness and to keep fighting for and things, hindsight's always 2020. So when
Mhm.
people ask me what that was, now that I can look back, it was a lot of self-belief, but very low self-worth. And so it was very hard for me to go out and do great things publicly and to be seen as worthy and to be seen as someone of value. And so as I started growing my self-worth, this has been a huge, just blinders on for the last few years is self-worth. Those boundaries, social courage, keeping the promises I make to myself, investing in myself heavily, especially every day with the small things, and
Mhm.
really having a healthy relationship with comparison, that piece for my core wound and my low self worth and
Mhm.
low social courage has been completely life changing. I feel like an entirely different person with different capabilities and different values to add and things. And to be able to do that, it's not the easy choices.
Yeah.
And I know no one really wants to hear that. People love to hear, well, what's the one thing that got you XYZ? It's like you want just
That's
some
right.
sexy answer. I have no sexy answers. I have unsexy fundamentals that if you
That's
do
right.
them every day, it can change your life. For me, growing my self-worth looked like asking myself a question and running everything through the lens of, is this person, place, thing, idea going to increase my self-respect or
Okay.
decrease it? And the choice is not always the easier choice. If I skip this workout, is that going to increase my self-respect or decrease it? Ah, crap, it's going to decrease it. It'll feel good in the moment to ignore it, but it's a
Yeah.
self-respect hit. So
Yeah.
is it the harder choice to go do the workout? Absolutely. It really is. But
Hmm.
is it the right one for building self-worth and building self-respect? Yes.
Hmm. Okay. Now, all right, I missed it. But again, on your social media journey, let's talk about what you've been doing on your networks, right? You connect with a lot of people. I saw that you have that community on Facebook, right? And you bring a lot of people together. What are the trends that you're seeing? What are people getting attracted to when it comes to, I mean, you talk a lot about self-belief and self-worth, right? But then how do people actually come there always with problems, or are there a lot of people who feel that, yeah, I am also on this journey and I should join you because I want to help others as well in this journey?
Yeah, I would say right now it's actually more the second one.
Hmm.
We're attracting a lot of people who are just on this same journey of success building, of personal development and growing themselves, and they realize that it's a pretty lonely space. For
All
the
right.
people who are doing the real work, the work that isn't just like love, fun, momentous, the deep inner work that can get really, really hard.
Yeah.
And it's hard to go through that without thinking, gosh, am I doing something wrong? Is it me? Do I not do? No, you're guaranteed to be doing something right, actually, if you're hitting some pretty hard moments in your growth journey.
Hmm.
And coming together in a community that shows you that that is actually good, that it's actually okay, and you're not actually alone in those moments is
Yeah.
really, really valuable. So at NLU, we deeply believe in community. We have communities for everything. We
Okay.
have a free book club every Saturday. We have a WhatsApp community for our book club. We have a monthly masterclass.
Hmm.
WhatsApp community for our monthly masterclass. We have our Facebook group, like Next Level Nation. We have so much that offers community. And
Hmm.
I think as far as social media goes and trends, and we're seeing AI take over, I think actually the value of the human is going up. And the value of real connections with real people, sharing wins and struggles along the way, is only going to grow in value. And
Yeah.
so, if you're seeing all of these things on social media and you're trying to keep up with all of these viral trends and AI and things, trust me, the value of you as the person is going to be more valuable in the end.
Yeah.
We have just real listeners, real people, real communities doing real things. And I know that that's where all the value is right now. And so building community, if you're like on a business journey and you're trying to build a company or trying to, coach or whatever it is you're trying to do, community is very key as a part of your business funnel. There should be some sort of community aspect in there.
Okay. Now, just a random question. I just hit my mind because you mentioned AI. So I just want to ask. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I saw it recently or it's been a while. Okay. I saw a few people talking about using AI as their personal coach or I don't know, therapist or something of that sort, where they tell it, they give it a few questions, and then it tells them to do stuff like this. And then it reaffirms and gives them affirmations that, yeah, you're on the right track or something of that sort. Obviously, AI has grown to be so much more human-like when it comes to having those conversations, at least on text. If not, you have OpenAI have coming up with that voice module. But then again, how do you look at it where when it comes to a people-to-people connect, where we have this real conversation and we might or might not have an affirmation every time we talk, right? But somebody digital or artificial giving you affirmations every single time, regardless of whether you are right or wrong. How is that panning out, or how do you see it?
I mean pros and cons. Really, there are pros and cons because for some people that can be very helpful. And I think for some people that have a higher awareness though, and
Hmm.
can be discerning of what is for them and what isn't, because AI can be extremely biased.
Yeah.
It learns your biases very quickly. And if you have someone feeding you your biases all the time, you're actually not going to get any better.
Hmm.
If you already believe what you believe but don't have the goal that you want to have yet, it's not what you already believe, it's what you don't. You need
Right.
someone who can point out, okay, hey, this belief is actually mismatched. Or, hey, have you thought of this? And again, I'm not saying AI can't do that, but to have someone in your corner who can see you as a person, who can walk you through the emotions and sit and actually hold space while you have those emotions,
Hmm.
and not only make you feel validated, but feel that you can progress based on a level that is accurate instead of one that is generated. And that's what a good coach and therapist does. They're able to assess you as the individual. If I talk to someone who has low self-belief the same way I talk to someone who has high self-belief, I'm already making a mistake. I'm
That's.
already a terrible coach for you. You
Hmm.
cannot speak to people the same. That's why it's actually a really, I don't know, fun but challenging skill to
That's.
master communication to
Hmm.
macro to micro. It's
Yeah.
actually really challenging to try and speak into a whole group of people with different core wounds, different levels of self-belief, self-worth, and things. But when you can get on the one-on-one level and assess them and know exactly what their numbers are and what their
Yeah.
core wounds are and those kinds of things, that's when you can really start making a difference in someone's life. So again, there's macro looks that you can get
Yeah.
a little bit of an insight in, but if it's not working for you and you're not feeling the changes and you're not feeling challenged, then it's not the right program or whatever it is for you. I mean, even affirmations. Affirmations are really, really powerful for some people.
Yeah.
If you have high self-belief and you're saying things like, I am successful, I am this, then your high self-belief is like, yep, absolutely. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can get that. If you have low self-belief and you start looking in the mirror because someone told you to say, I am making $1 million, I am successful, your low self-belief instantly comes in and is like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Why are
Yeah,
you saying that? That sounds
that's right.
ridiculous.
That's right.
So there's so many little nuances. And if you love the idea of affirmations, but you struggle, like I just said, or I just described, try I am becoming. I am working on. I am becoming someone who. And then match the actions to it. Affirmations are just a small piece of the puzzle. Actions have to meet, or your brain is
That's
instantly going to start disassociating.
right.
Again, nuances. Mhm.
Right. So thank you so much, Amy. This was a very enjoyable conversation. We went left and right, talked about so many different things actually. So thank you so much for joining in. Before I close, how can people get to know more about you and where can they get in touch with you?
Sure. So, I mean, we have a website, nextleveluniverse.com, and there's everything on there that we do. We have book club, like I said, that's free. Monthly master classes are free, but we also have things like group coaching and one-on-one coaching, free communities all over the place. So, whatever level you are at, we are there for you. But my DMs are also always open. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I know we talked about social media, and I know there's so many other platforms on social media. That's all I got. Facebook and Instagram right now because I can't even with having so many. I know you wanted to ask what my relationship is with social media. I tolerate it. It's
All
not
right.
my favorite, but I use it as a tool. I have learned to use it as a tool for my business and a way to connect with others. So I've
Mhm.
had to like heal my relationship with that because a huge part of me is also could not care at all. And so, again, what is your relationship with social media? And do you need it for your business? Because the answer is yes. And how can you heal that like I have? And so my DMs always open Instagram, Facebook. It's me. You're not getting AI. You're not getting an assistant. You're not getting anything like that. It'll be me. So ask your questions. And of course, I'd love to answer.
Thank you so much once again, Amy. Lovely conversation. I'm sure the audience also loved it. So, to the audience who's been watching and listening intently, if you liked what we talked about, do leave a like. And yeah, the comment section is open for questions, uh, queries, suggestions, and your perspectives, whatever you want to type in. And then don't forget to subscribe if you've not subscribed yet. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much, Amy.